Did you have any other sexual experiences before Meri?
Okay, listen, Suki.
Right?
I want to shut you down now.
Caught in a lie, Cody's darkest secret about Robyn, before their so-called marriage, has just been blown wide open. For years, this polygamist husband has insisted that his courtships were all about spiritual connections and grand, transcendent love. But apparently behind the scenes, things were far steamier than he let on.
Polygamy doesn't work if you're going to actually fall in love.
And you fell in love.
I fell in love hard.
Let's just say that if you believed Cody's repeated claims of abiding by his faith's rules, you might want to buckle up. We've got scorching details about secret intimacy, shockingly brazen behavior, and a pattern of falling in love way too fast. When people found out how deep Cody's alleged premarital bond with Robyn went, jaws dropped, hard. Frankly, the entire Sister Wives universe is buzzing about this. After all the drama with his first wife, Meri, and the uproar over Christine's exit, Cody is facing one of his biggest scandals yet, a direct confrontation over what really happened before Robyn ever said, "I do." And guess who's turning up the heat? Christine herself, who's calling him out for claiming he lost his purity only once long ago.
I'm so sick and tired of being guilted for loving Robyn.
She's not buying it, and neither are a lot of fans. They're convinced Cody bent his so-called religious morals, hooking up with Robyn even before they had that official ceremony. So, is he a committed husband of deep faith, or just a serial charmer who can't resist the thrill of breaking the rules? Now, if you're already raising an eyebrow, get cozy. There's a reason all of social media is in meltdown mode over the couple, once regarded as the golden pair in Cody's chaotic polygamous household. Allegedly, there's more than one skeleton in the closet when it comes to Cody's relationships, from how he fell head over heels for Meri to his suspiciously intense magnetism toward Robyn. According to insiders, he's had a lifelong habit of diving in too fast, kissing first, asking questions later.
Do you ever sit there and feel you wish we were in a parallel relationship? The question in my head is like, are we gonna try to live through marriage again?
Well, it looks like those old habits never died. And the real story behind his union with Robyn might be the biggest bombshell yet. That's just the tip of the iceberg. You know how Cody's been spinning his narrative of spiritual devotion, claiming he follows the faith's rules about chastity before marriage? Turns out he's allegedly contradicted himself more than once. He openly admitted that years ago he had a serious slip-up. He was a good Mormon boy. Then bam, he lost his virginity outside of wedlock. He told the cameras it haunted him, filled him with regret and shame. Yet somehow, he neglected to mention that to key people, Christine and Janelle, among others. Why would he hide that? And if he hid that for years, what else did he sweep under the rug?
So are you excited about this?
No, not at all.
According to Christine, Cody has a seriously slippery track record when it comes to telling the truth about his past. She's not afraid to say that he might have stepped even further off the path with Robyn. When you look at how their relationship unfolded, the timeline raises all sorts of eyebrows. The pair apparently kissed well before the official vow exchange, something that's a major no-no in their church. Another rumor insists they got physically intimate in ways that go way beyond a mere peck on the lips. And if they broke one rule, who's to say they didn't break every rule in the book? So, let's backtrack for a moment and watch how Cody's romantic escapades even started. He used to brag about being infatuated too easily, claiming he'd hold a girl's hand, realize he didn't really like her, and then quietly retreat. Back in his teen years, he apparently developed a habit of careless dating, and only after a mission trip did he decide to reel it in.
We're all supposed to be Robyn. I wish they would all focus on their own relationships without my name coming up.
Enter Meri. She was supposedly his first real test in discovering friendship before love. He claims he was absolutely taken by her innocence, said she was pure, and validated his very existence. In his own words, Meri was at one time his soulmate. He even recounted that story in the Brown family's famous book, giving everyone the impression that this was the real deal, and that he'd learned from his youthful mistakes.
You and I sit here in this moment with this truth we have. I couldn't find that with them anymore.
Not even Janelle?
No.
But as Sister Wives fans know, Cody's love story with Meri didn't exactly end like a fairy tale. Over the years, he's come across as cold and distant toward her, almost rewriting their entire history. He'll say things like, "We never really had a functional relationship," or suggest that Meri had tricked him. Meanwhile, glimpses from the past show a very different vibe. A man who was head over heels at the start, who converted to polygamy specifically quickly after meeting her, who eagerly inserted himself into Meri's faith life. Which version is true? Did he love her passionately, or was she just a stepping stone to bigger, shinier relationships? Then there's Janelle and Christine, the so-called utilitarian wives in many viewers' eyes. Cody's admitted that things were less about starry-eyed romance with them and more about building the family empire, making them a part of his quest to expand his kingdom. He basically lumps them together as relationships driven by faith and duty.
We've all seen their engagement photos. I wonder how close they got before they were married.
Christine, in particular, has come forward about the emotional neglect she faced, claiming she felt relegated to a lesser status while Cody fawned over others. For a while, though, it seemed Christine was willing to tough it out, possibly because that was the expectation in their faith community. And then Robyn arrived on the scene, shaking everything up. When Robyn first appeared, she was younger than the rest, with a backstory that included a previous marriage and kids. Cody spun the narrative that he was mesmerized by her spirit, not just her looks. But if you read the actual accounts, some from their own telling, he basically declared to Meri on night one that he might want to pursue Robyn.
She was a liar. She was manipulating.
He also slyly confirmed that the minute he laid eyes on her, he felt something deep and transcendent. The next morning at church, Robyn didn't show up, and Cody acted all crestfallen, mopey that he'd missed his chance. Sound like typical teenage infatuation to you? Because it sure does to a lot of fans. Robyn's side of the story? She supposedly played a bit hard to get at first, claiming she needed a provider for her kids.
I always had Meri's back, even when people were plotting against her, ignoring her.
And there's chatter that church leaders weren't thrilled with Cody's attempt to court again, given that his finances were already strained. But love, or lust, prevailed. Soon enough, they were officially dating. Cody even confessed that on the first date he went all in and told her he loved her. Talk about a total love bomb.
Marrying these women and living a plural life. Would you do it all again?
She didn't reciprocate verbally at first, but a few weeks later, after hearing another man in their church was interested in courting Robyn, Cody panicked. He proposed, and it wasn't just a sweet, pious proposal. He whipped around, grabbed her face, and kissed her. For a faith that preaches no premarital contact, that's a massive breach. If you're gonna break one rule, why not break them all? This is where allegations of pre-wedding intimacy start swirling. Cody historically made such a huge deal about being pure, and about how important it is to keep oneself chaste. Yet with Robyn, a big chunk of that moral code flew straight out the window. People inside the family have hinted that they suspect more went on behind closed doors than a single kiss. Christine, for one, calls out that there were just too many overnight visits, too much secrecy, too many excuses that defied the established family protocol for new courtships. The official line says Cody slept in a hotel or at Robyn's parents' home, but honestly, there's no shortage of ways to find private time if you're so inclined. Considering Cody's personal admission that he'd messed around before, why should this be any different? Adding fuel to the fire, Cody kept braying about how he and Robyn stayed chaste. They hammered that narrative into every interview, as if repeating it would make it true. Even the rest of the family seemed side-eyed about that claim, but they typically towed the line in public, likely to keep the Browns from further scrutiny. Now, though, with Christine's freedom from the marriage, she's way more open about her suspicion that the entire pure courtship story was a total facade. Viewers are eating it up, and the question remains, just how deep is the betrayal if Cody, a man who insisted he regretted a pre-Meri slip-up, brazenly repeated that behavior with Robyn? Let's not forget the bizarre dynamic of Cody's bragging. He once told cameras he was so enthralled by Robyn's stretch marks that they discussed them on their first date. They also apparently talked finances, religion, and parenting. But the biggest chunk of their bond appears to have been raw chemistry. Another angle is how Robyn, newly divorced, craved a stable family environment, while Cody was starstruck by someone he considered a catch compared to his existing wives. Fans question whether it was less about spiritual synergy and more about, well, feeding Cody's ego, especially as he loves to talk about proving his polygamist devotion by marrying a younger, more desirable bride. Score 1 for the toxic trophy wife narrative. Now, buckle up for the real kicker. On the latest season, Cody casually dropped that he once had a premarital fling, but he didn't elaborate which woman it was with, only that it happened before Meri. Allegedly, Christine's new remarks at the tell-all are set to blow that wide open, linking this past fling to the shenanigans that likely happened with Robyn. Christine is apparently fed up with Cody's double standards, how he forbade intimacy or open displays of affection in the rest of the marriages, but then turned around and played lovebird with Robyn. Is that hypocrisy, or is it something even darker? a pattern of manipulation and rule-bending whenever it suits him. What's even more jaw-dropping is Cody's meltdown whenever he's asked about his sex life in interviews. On one hand, he's bragging about his experiences as if it's a badge of manliness. On the other, if a host dares to press him about specific timelines, especially concerning Robyn, he snaps, telling them it's none of their business. The flip-flop is glaring, almost as if he's terrified that acknowledging a pre-marriage affair with Robyn would be the final nail in his moral credibility coffin. Plenty of fans suspect that part of Robyn's eagerness to jump into the marriage was because Cody had a certain star quality in their community. He had multiple wives, presumably a certain level of status, and a reality TV show that offered a path to bigger opportunities. She's not shy about hinting at her showbiz aspirations, once stating how she'd love to be on Oprah or write a best-selling book. If being the favorite wife gave her a boost, then it's not exactly surprising she'd have no qualms playing by Cody's or the network's rules, up to a point. But if the truth about their intimacy emerged, it'd overshadow the carefully curated image of a chaste, devout polygamist family. Christine, however, is done with the charade. She's made it crystal clear she's tired of Cody's entire love them and leave them pattern. The constant pressure to please him, the heartbreak of dealing with his endless quest for a new woman, the emotional turmoil of being overshadowed by the more fresh and exciting wives. She's had enough, and she's not alone. Janelle has also shown signs of stepping away from Cody's orchestrated illusions. Both women recognize that Cody's heart was with Robyn, and the rules that once bound them didn't apply to her. If rumors are to be believed, Cody even once told Christine that their connection wasn't really love in the sense he felt for Robyn. Ouch. So let's piece it all together. Cody admitted to premarital sex in the past, says it traumatized him, claims he only repeated that mistake once. But the puzzle doesn't fit. The man is known for his short fuse, impulsiveness, and obsessing over whomever his heart fancies in the moment. Robyn herself, by Cody's own account, was irresistible, a spiritual magnet that drew him in at warp speed. They announced an engagement just months into dating, shared kisses in broad daylight, and even boasted about how no one else's opinions mattered. Meanwhile, the rest of the family scrambled to pretend they were okay with it, or at least forced to keep silent. Fast forward to now, and you have Christine calling him out, maybe even labeling him a hypocrite. After all, if he's so outraged about every little infraction the other wives make, why does he get a free pass to do as he pleases? Naturally, the big question is, will Cody ever come clean about what truly happened with Robyn before that official ceremony? Does he even need to, now that so much of his life is out there for the public to dissect? Well, if Christine's revelations are as scorching as teased, he might have no choice but to confront them head on. And if she finds a way to prove that he absolutely engaged in a full-blown premarital affair with Robyn, contrary to all his denials, he could face a massive credibility crisis in the fundamentalist community he once championed. That alone may fracture what remains of his carefully constructed image. Still, let's be real. Sister Wives thrives on drama, and fans can't seem to look away. Every time a new scandal surfaces, it only boosts the show's visibility. Cody, Robyn, Meri, Janelle, Christine. They're all pieces of a puzzle that viewers can't resist assembling. Whether it ends with total chaos or redemption arcs, we're hooked. But for now, the momentum is all about Cody's possible lies, Robyn's rumored complicity, and the swirl of secrets that keep coming to light. So what do you think? Is this alleged dark secret just a rehash of old Cody gossip, or is it the final straw that exposes him as a repeat offender when it comes to crossing boundaries before marriage? Did he ever really view polygamy as a sacred principle, or is it just a convenient platform for never-ending romantic pursuits? And is Robyn the cunning starlet who rose to favorite wife status by playing along with a hush-hush affair, only to later insist everything was pure and chaste? These are the questions Sister Wives fans are begging to have answered. Share your theories in the comments. Do you believe Cody and Robyn really waited until after they exchanged vows? Or do you think their purity pledge was a farce all along? Are you proud of Christine for calling him out? Or do you think this is just more drama stirring from the Brown family? And hey, if you're just as fascinated by this as we are, show some love and smash that like button. It helps spread the word to fellow Sister Wives aficionados. And by the way, if you're new here or you've been lurking without subscribing, now's your chance. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a single update. Because trust me, with all these rumors swirling, the next bombshell is always right around the corner. You do not want to be the last to hear it. Finally, don't go anywhere yet. There's another juicy deep dive playing on your screen that you'll definitely want to check out. Go ahead and click on it next because the Sister Wives secrets keep piling up and we've got the scoop. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, in a household where secrets are currency, it only takes one slip for everything to unravel. See you in the next video.